Hello, everybody. I wonder if you saw the April issue of the Florist Review magazine. In that particular issue, I actually did a lot of, the three different types of curvilinear forms. I think curvilinear is a very exciting sort of retroing back to some of the things that we've done in the past, but it could be very effective currently today with a garden style design. So if you're interested in watching the making of how that issue and that story was created, I would highly recommend to watch this video. So welcome to Creative Edge. This is an April issue of Florist Review magazine, and the article deals with curvilinear forms that are designed into compotes and little miniature urn. I have three designs in three different curvilinear forms that has been designed into some sort of an armature or structure that is then supported with either Kenzan or Pim Frog and or a stick armature. And so with the first design, I wanted to create a crescent, a beautiful crescent, asymmetrical crescent that features the forsythia as its main construction piece added to the Middlino extender that's just wrapped with floral tape. Once it's set up into the container, then the first insertion actually goes into a Kenzan, which is the Japanese pin frog. So it uses the mechanics of the pin frog or Kenzan at the base of the container, and that then the insertions are supported with that in combination with the armature. So the Middlino extender, I think you've seen maybe a demo or a tape video of this, how it's made, but this one is made with just wrapped with floral tape because it is really an inside mechanic, not to be seen that visible. It's really the support system. So I decided to just use floral tape because it's much quicker to create that structure. But the forsythia is actually trained along it, like almost like a trellis, and that gives you that beautiful crescent shape that you see evident in this particular design. The combination of flowers are formed into the base of that's cradled into that crescent, and then it thins out on both ends, but keeping it fairly transparent and natural out into the outer tips. I think you see the beautiful curvature of the eucalyptus, as well as some of the little bit of vine that's involved, surrounding the beautiful combination of the toffee rose and amnesia rose in combination with helleborus and sweet peas. It's really a great springy combination that actually comes to life in this particular form. It's a classical form that is being revisited because it really is a beautiful curvilinear sort of Art Nouveau feeling that has a very open silhouette and is considered an open form design. This second design is a little bit more advanced because it's in the form of a Hogarth curve. And with a Hogarth curve, it really, to be able to depict a curve in the most beautiful way, an S curve, that it really requires some sort of almost like a trellising or support that gives you that form to begin with, the backbone of that design. And this was created with a Middlino extender, and this time covered with yarn. It's a sort of an apple green, light colored yarn that really blends into this design very beautifully, and it gives you that beautiful swooping S curve that is typical of Hogarth curve. Hogarth curve is considered a line of beauty that was actually named by William Hogarth back in 19th century, a painter that really clarified that in S-curve in any kind of an art form or in a painting or a design, make your eye travel through the design in the most graceful, beautiful way. And in this particular design, it has a little bit more of a Art Nouveau feel because it has that definite curvature that is so typical of Nouveau style. And it has a combination of materials that is also typical of collection of flowers that may have been from that period as well. The actual Middlino extender that's used in this particular design has been created with the combination of Middlino with a diamond wire core and then wrapped with yarn, in this particular case, sort of a apple green, light apple green, celadon, almost like color that blends beautifully into this background. It allows for the stem to be attached, stems of flowers and branches to be attached to it, which gives it and defines that character of this shape. I think it's a very graceful kind of a design that looks really great in a lifted compote. It has that kind of a feel of almost like an end of Victorian era kind of a combination of flowers, and is also typical to some of the work that was done in the Constance Spry era as well. So it has a lot of historical kind of a feel to it, a little bit of nostalgia to it, which is so perfect for wedding work in that romance style. So in this final design, I actually do it in the pairing of two sort of mini urn that lifts the base of the design up a little bit higher. They're kind of in a hairpin curve, the structure or the armature itself that supports and actually trellises this particular design. The Middlino extender in this one has been wrapped with raffia, so it has a little bit more raw, natural feel to it that looks really attractive. And you can see some of the curves that it creates, almost like a tenderly effect in itself, gives it a very plant-like depiction of the way the Middlino extender was used. The hairpin curve is actually attached to almost like a forked forsythia branch that is the foundation of the armature building itself, and that is being sort of pushed in to the V shape of the vase, and then the Middlino extender is being attached to it in a much more curvilinear hairpin U shape as a pair. And so this gives you two sort of asymmetrical design that kind of gives you almost a framing effect, one in front of the other, and gives you a complete design as a pair. And it's much more gardeny, it's much more transparent. The use of the plumosa fern that has that very loose and airy kind of a feel that looks like it's just almost floating, lifting up into the sky, almost like sort of almost smoky. That ethereal feel is very, very beautiful. Doesn't require a lot of flowers, but the placement is really what's important and gives you interesting color combination with a beautiful toffee and the amnesia rose complemented with a dark scabiosa, as well as the most beautiful parrot tulips that's in sort of an aubergine color. I think it has a very wonderful sort of a trendy coloring that is really, I think it's trending for the spring. I think it's really a beautiful combination of flowers that would be very big in some of the weddings that's upcoming.